I've always been fascinated by the vastness of the universe, and today, I'm taking you on a journey to explore its very limits. Have you ever wondered about the true size and nature of our cosmos? Well, buckle up, because we're about to dive into one of the most mind-bending questions in all of science. Is the universe infinite? Let's start with what we know. About 14 billion years ago, our universe began in an event we call the Big Bang. But here's the kicker, it's still expanding. Right now, as you're watching this video, the cosmos is stretching out in all directions. It's like a giant cosmic balloon being inflated, with galaxies moving farther apart from each other. But what's it expanding into? That's where things get tricky. Now you might be thinking, if the universe is expanding, can't we just look as far as possible and see its edge? Well, not quite. What we can see is called the observable universe, a sphere around us with a radius of about 45 billion light-years. But here's the thing, the observable universe is just the part we can see. It's like being in a dark room with a flashlight. The area you can illuminate is your observable space, but the room might extend far beyond your light's reach. In the same way, the actual universe could be much, much larger than what we can observe. So is there an edge to the universe, or does it go on forever? This is where we enter the realm of mind-bending possibilities. One option is that the universe is finite. It has a definite size, even if it's unimaginably large. The other possibility is that the universe is infinite, extending endlessly in all directions. If this is true, then no matter how far you travel, you'd never reach an edge or an end. Both of these options are hard to wrap our heads around, but that's what makes cosmology so exciting. To help us understand these mind-boggling concepts, let's think about an ant walking on an orange. From the ant's perspective, the surface it's walking on might seem flat and endless. It could walk in a straight line forever without reaching an edge. Now, imagine our universe could be like the surface of that orange, but in 3 dimensions instead of 2. This is what scientists call a finite but unbounded universe. It would have a finite volume, but no edge or boundary that you could ever reach. This brings us to one of the wildest ideas in cosmology, the universe as a hypersphere. Imagine our 3-dimensional space somehow curled up onto itself, like the surface of a 4-dimensional sphere. I know it sounds crazy, but stick with me here. In this scenario, if you could travel in a perfectly straight line for long enough, you'd eventually end up back where you started, without ever hitting an edge or boundary. It's like how you can fly around the Earth and end up where you began, but in 3 dimensions, instead of 2. The catch? We can't actually see or experience the 4th dimension needed to make this work. Now let's take this idea even further. If the universe is finite and curved back on itself like this, it could create what some scientists call a cosmic hall of mirrors. Imagine looking deep into space and seeing ourselves. The light from Earth could have traveled all the way around the universe and come back to us. This would mean that if we look far enough in one direction, we might see multiple copies of our own galaxy, or even our own planet. It's like standing between 2 mirrors and seeing infinite reflections of yourself stretching into the distance. Mind-blowing, right? But what if the universe is truly infinite? This idea is just as hard to grasp. An infinite universe would mean that space goes on forever in every direction, without any end or edge. It's impossible to visualize, but try to imagine it anyway. Endless galaxies, endless stars, endless possibilities. In an infinite universe, something even stranger happens. Given enough space, every possible configuration of matter would have to occur not just once, but an infinite number of times. This means there would be infinite copies of Earth, of you, of me, and of everything else scattered throughout the cosmos. You might be thinking, no way, that's impossible. But in an infinite universe, even the most unlikely events become not just possible, but inevitable. It's a bit like the infinite monkey theorem. Given infinite time, a monkey randomly hitting keys on a typewriter will eventually produce the complete works of Shakespeare. Of course, the distances involved would be so vast, that we'd never be able to reach or communicate with these hypothetical copies. They're more of a philosophical curiosity than a practical consideration. But it shows just how mind-bending the concept of infinity can be when applied to our universe. Trying to picture these concepts, whether it's a finite, curved universe or an infinite expanse, is incredibly challenging. Our brains evolved to understand the world on a human scale, not to comprehend the vastness of the cosmos. But that's what makes astronomy and cosmology so exciting. They push us to think beyond our everyday experiences and imagine the unimaginable. Whether the universe is finite or infinite, curved or flat, the quest to understand it continues. Every new discovery brings new questions, and that's the beauty of science. We might never know for certain if the universe has an edge or if it goes on forever, but the journey of exploration is what truly matters. As we wrap up this mind-bending journey through the cosmos, I hope you're left with a sense of wonder and curiosity. The universe is full of mysteries waiting to be unraveled, and who knows? Maybe you'll be the one to make the next big discovery. If you enjoyed this cosmic adventure, don't forget to subscribe to The Curious Orbit for more mind-expanding content. Until next time, keep looking up and asking questions.